The year was 1984, and two boys were out exploring in the woods near their homes when they stumbled upon something shocking. The boys had been playing near the railroad tracks when they saw a blue denim jacket snagged on some barbed wire. The boys thought it might be a lost soul who had hung themselves. When they pulled the body from the wire, they realized it was just a doll. But soon after, one of the boys started to feel ill, and both of them ran home. A few days later, the doll was found by someone else and was taken to a local church for disposal. That same night, someone called the police to report that a woman's body had been found, and when officers arrived at the scene, they were shocked to discover that it was the same woman whose picture was on the front of the missing poster. The only difference between the woman in the poster and the woman lying dead before them was that the woman in the poster was alive and well. Or so everyone thought. In today's episode, we will look into the case of Mary Ann Catrina. Before moving to Florida, Mary Ann lived in West Virginia, where she had worked as a hairdresser. After moving to Florida, she tried to get a job at a hair salon, but because she didn't have any experience, she was denied the position. Eventually, Mary Ann got a job at a grocery store. One day, while at work, Mary Ann told her co-worker that she had an important doctor's appointment and left work early. It would be the last time anyone would see her alive. When Mary Ann failed to show up for her next shift, her roommate Karen became worried and contacted her family. A missing persons report was filed, but unfortunately, it would be over a month before police started taking the case seriously. And when they did, it was too late. After the boys found the doll, it was taken to the church, where it remained for 3 days before it was discovered. By the time the police got to the church, the building had already been cleaned for the night, and there was no way they could enter. So they waited until the next morning when the pastor arrived and let them in. The pastor was very cooperative, and he allowed the police to search the premises, but they came up empty. The pastor claimed that he had nothing to do with the doll and just allowed the children to bring it to the church because it was raining and he didn't want it to get wet. He even claimed that the girl who had brought the doll to the church had come back for it. But the girl's parents said that she had no idea the doll had been taken from a crime scene and wouldn't have touched it if she had known. After hitting a dead end at the church, the police went to the home of the person who had found the doll in the first place, but they found nothing. It would be another week before someone came forward and told the police about the two boys who had found the doll in the woods. This led the police to question the boys. They, along with several other children, all gave similar accounts of what had happened. And because the doll had been missing for so long, police believed that it must have been used as bait. They assumed that the killer had placed the doll at the train tracks to lure children into the woods where they would be isolated and unable to seek help. Then they would strike. The problem was, though, that this was just a theory. There was no solid evidence to support it. Even the boy's story seemed a bit off. Why would someone hang a doll from some barbed wire? What kind of sick person would do such a thing? The boy's story made sense, but it still had its flaws. The police couldn't help but wonder if maybe the boys had actually seen the killer and were trying to cover for them. But if that were the case, why would they come forward in the first place? As time went on, the case grew colder and colder, and the police eventually stopped investigating altogether. Unfortunately, Mary Ann's remains have never been found, and her case remains unsolved to this very day. Thank you for watching this case. If you have any information about this case, please contact the authorities. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.